the first thing we're going to ask you, Jane, to tell us is what is the Delta?
So in terms of qualifications and qualification grading, the Delta is like a level 7 in the UK, and SOTA is a level 5, and it's the same, it's the equivalent of a master's. Okay, and when you get the Delta, you can actually go and you can apply for a master's in the same sort of area, and you would get credits. It depends on the place that you go to and the course you want, but it actually, the Delta does help you to get some credits for a master's as well. Okay? Yeah, and it's the highest qualification that you can do in teaching English. Okay, so it's the highest one.
And why do some people go for the Delta? Why do some people seek the Delta?
For so many different reasons. I think, say, the reason why I did it was because I had done the CELTA, and I really realised after a couple of years I really wanted to improve my teaching skills. I wanted to extend my knowledge, and I wanted basically to have better lessons. So I did it for my own professional benefit. Okay? And of course you can learn such a lot, and you can learn about different techniques, methodologies, and different ways of approaching things. Also, people go, if you want to get into senior management, this is the qualification that helps you get into senior management. Okay? Also, if you want to be a teacher trainer, this is a qualification as a teacher trainer. So if you wanted to eventually teach on CELTA courses, for example. And also in terms of a manager, this is often what's needed for the course. And in British Council accredited schools in the UK, this is the Delta is the requirement to be a senior teacher or a manager. So professional reasons, promotion reasons, training reasons, and like, as I said, for me it was just like I really wanted to know how to do it better.
Okay. We do have a question related to what you were saying now, so I think that we would bring it up because it's very relevant to now rather than later, which is Sally's asking, is it higher than PGCE?
It's different. It's different from PGCE. So PGCE is like a degree, a certificate in education. Okay? And Delta is like level 7, and it's a master's. So it's a master's equivalent. Okay? PGCE again could be in any qualification. A Delta, of course, is in teaching English.
Okay.
Knowing that.
Yeah, that's very interesting because Muhammad was asking, and he was saying, can I teach financial accounting with CELTA or Delta?
Well, eventually, in your specialism, yes. If you were doing financial or accounting, and you were doing English for accountants, then yes. And again, we'll see in a minute, in Module 3, you could actually make this part of your specialism. Yes, you do. But when you're doing Module 1 and Module 2, you'll find it's going to be like general. It will be more like general English.
Very good, thank you. So, what are the entry requirements for taking the Delta?
Okay. So there will be, as in any course, quite a rigid interview task and interview procedure. But before you start, you need to have C1 plus level of English on the Common European Framework. Okay. You need to have, we recommend 2 years of teaching experience. I think Cambridge have actually changed it to 1 year of teaching experience, and to have like a range of different levels and different types of classes. I think people I've been talking to and like experienced trainers and assessors like myself who sort of said, yeah, actually 2 years is quite a good time, at least 2 years. And the reason for that is some people perhaps, particularly after their initial qualification like a CELTA, they go in, they teach, and maybe they teach the same sort of classes. That's not going to really help you know about different contexts. So, for example, you could have like an intermediate class, you could have like a higher class, you could have exam classes, you could have young learners. It could all still be just intermediate, absolutely fine. But I think we do encourage you to have a range of different experiences. And that's going to really help you thinking about, because the course is very much looking at practical things and relating the practical ideas to theory.
A lot of people ask if CELTA is a requirement to do the DICTA, and I guess you can help us with this.
Right. It's not a requirement. It is pretty useful because obviously some of the, in terms of perhaps the intensity of the course, some of the sort of like ways of learning are very similar. Okay. However, at the interviews, for example, you have a lot of experience and you have like other qualifications in teaching, then of course it's going to be considered.
So, what does the DICTA consist of?
Okay. So there are 3 modules, and again, it's incredibly practical. Like I said, it's the practice linking with the theory. Okay. You've got module 1, which is the whole thing of understanding language. I'm looking at my notes here. Language, methodology, and resources. Okay. As we'll see in a minute, this is an exam. But this is the time where it is practical, but you can also do some background reading and you can relate the theory to the practice. And you can also use your teaching experience and what you're doing in the classroom to help you with some of the ideas and the functions. Okay? So that's to do with understanding language, methodology, and resources. And that leads nicely into module 2. And module 2 is professional practice. So that's when you actually do teaching. Okay? And then module 3 is extending that practice and basically course design. And again, we'll see sooner or later you have to think about a particular group of students and plan a course for them. Okay? And we'll see more in a minute. Now, basically, I think Cambridge suggests that you can do module 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
However, you can do the modules in any order that you want. And I've seen some people do module 3 first, for example, and then come back and then do module 1 and 2. In my experience, I would suggest that you do it in this order 1, 2, and 3. And I definitely think it's going to be very useful for you to do number 1 first and then number 2.
It makes a little bit of a sense to start with module 1 with all the readings and terminology and getting a little bit of a background research before doing the teaching, and then finally module 3. But as you said, Cambridge has not put any kind of restriction on the order. But if we're talking logically, 1 would come first and then followed by 2 or 3, or since 3 requires more and more in-depth research.
And it's a different type of research as well, because you're actually doing course design and things like that. And again, you could take a long time doing this. And I think some people I know have taken, like, say, 3 or 4 years to do it. They haven't done it straight away. And so again, it's completely up to you how you want to do it. Yeah. And again, with module 3, which is, again, curriculum design. I mean, some people have done 2 module 3s because they've had different specialisms that they're interested in. So it's completely up to you how you want to do it. However, you only need to do 1, 2, and 3 once to get them, and to pass them to get the certificate.
Yes. Yeah, we'll talk about certificates. So basically, there is no time deadline for how many years, how many months or years or period of time you can take between the lectures.
But obviously, we recommend you to do it. Don't leave it too late, because